The mist hung low over the Oaks estate near Greyton as the riders set off for the Queen stage of the Absa Cape Epic. Teams chasing the yellow jersey were gifted a golden opportunity when Christian Heineck suffered the cruel misfortune of a double puncture. Centurion Boda Case and Kaufman generously donated 2 wheels to the Topi Gergen team and they set off to try and close down the gap. The team with the most to gain from their misfortunes, Mirandal Songo Specialized, had yet another mechanical when Sauza punctured. Their saviours, not for the first time this week, were Riciem's Kleinans and Bell. The Sasol women's hotspot at the top of the grueling Rusty Gate climb was taken by the race leaders Riciem's Anneke Langpad and Ariane Kleinans. Up at Oak Valley, Torpedo Racing's Paulison and Chiarini outfoxed and outsprinted Scott Odlo, Schurter and Base. Sauza and Rabon gained some time on the leaders when they finished in 3rd place. Although they were 5th, Topi Gergen defended the yellow jerseys once again. And the Swiss-Danish combination of Kleinans and Langpad won their 4th stage of the race, finishing well clear of Mirandal's Sus and Bigham. And the Riciem team strengthened their hold on the leaders' orange jerseys. On the warmest day of the Absa Cape Epic, the riders welcomed the Energade Tunnel. The official sports drink supplier kindly arranged for a light spray, cooling the hot riders off before the next section of the race. Despite their problems, Topi Gergen did well to limit their losses to Mirandal Songo Specialized to 2 minutes. The race for 3rd spot on the podium is getting close to Pardo Factory, just 3 minutes and 13 seconds behind the Bulls 2 team. The Riciem pair now have over a quarter of an hour in hand over Mirandal in the women's race with 2 days to go. Cape Brewing Company's position in 3rd appears relatively secure. In the mix, the Mauritians Team Synergy is still ahead. Brenchens and Azevedo are now 13 minutes clear of Enthoven, and Wilson and Cyclelab Toyota have close to an hour's lead over Bucher and Brown. After an unforgiving week, Stage 6 is a gift. 1800 metres will be forgotten as they hit the exhilarating single track above Hohook Inn. They cruise the vineyards, apple orchards, forest and Fynbos before dual track drops them down into the Elgin Valley. Lebanon's wondrous trails followed by carefully carved and constructed tracks and bridges on Paul Kluwer. And the smiles will be wide as they fly back into Oak Valley. The penultimate stage of the Absa Cape Epic. After 6 days of racing, the riders arrived at Oak Valley, their new race village, yesterday. After a night of resting and refueling, Stage 6 shows off the famed single-track trails around Elgin. It's a day that race director Katie Suck calls a reward day. Fun, flowing single-track. A yawn from race leader Christian Heineck. Is it fatigue or nerves? Perhaps both.
Yeah, obviously the body is tired already. We have 6 days behind us of racing and 2 days to go, but everybody is tired, so it's for everybody is the same. But yeah, today is supposed to be quite a fun stage, I assume. Maybe it will be hard for sure. It's always hard, and yeah, we need to defend the gap we have.
The riders depart Oak Valley in the chilly morning fog. Soon their body temperatures will be soaring as the engines fire up. Carl Platt, the injured Bulls leader, and partner Urs Huber, now riding as an outcast, look on, imagining what might have been. All Africa Leaders jersey wearer Matthijs Beekers plays his part, leading the peloton on farm roads. 2nd place Mirandal Songo Specialized. Today is do or die. They'll be looking to make up over 10 minutes on leaders Topi Gergen. Early disaster for Topi. It's almost a carbon copy of yesterday's mechanical, and again their Good Samaritan friends from Centurion Voda donate wheels to their cause. Heineck has had terrible luck the last 2 days. This puncture comes on a flat country district road. No surprise, Nino Schurter moves to the front. The triple world champion seems more motivated than ever to stamp his authority over the Absa Cape Epic. Mirandal Songo Specialized backup rider Montoya pushes Rabon up the steep gradient, a worrying sign at this early stage. The former road racer's legs are a little tender after a hard week. The overall race leaders, Menon and Heineck, have their work cut out for them. It'll be a long chase back to the leaders. Riciem leading in the women's race. With Sasol coming on board with the Absa Cape Epic for this year, they match the men's prize purse, and 2014 sees a hotly contested category. Nino Schurter and Philip Bass lead the way, heading towards a single track. The rest will be jockeying for a good position in the line. Flying onto the purpose-built trails, this is mountain biking at its best. Scott Odlow have a gap. It's not outright attack, it's just that the others can't match their pace. Schurter demonstrates his innate sense of the trails. Riding the blind, he has an instinctive understanding of the grip and camber on the track surfaces. Scott Factory Racing's Heinz and Bierkes keeping pace. RCM lead the women's race, but not by much. Sus and Bigham are only a minute back. The Scott Quartet, strength in numbers. A few seconds off Scott, yesterday's stage winners, Team Torpedo Factory leading the chase with Christoph Sauser and the Bulls 2 team following their lines. František Rabon is suffering, the Czech hoping his legs come good soon if Christoph Sauser is to attack. Topi Gergen overtake Team Mirandal Songo Specialized Allies Team RCM. The difference in speed shows their urgency in the chase back to the lead. The yellow jerseys have taken a punch but come back swinging. Team Scott Odlow and Scott Factory Racing are the first through the culvert under the N2 highway that links the Cape Peninsula to the Overberg. The chase group smell the opportunity presented by Topi Gergen's pneumatic misfortune. Rising talent Gert Haynes will revel in the technical trails, having won local gravity events. Topi Gergen used their Centurion voter-sponsored Get Out of Jail Free card and now continue to chase rivals Mirandal Songo Specialized alone. Heineck right on the fine line of pushing hard but not blowing up. Schurter, Bass, Bierkes, Haynes. Torpedo Factory drive the pace. Paulison knows his partner Chiarini is out of his comfort zone on the technical trails. They're looking to defend their 4th position on overall GC against aggressor Scott Odlow. Like Chiarini, road cyclist Rabon has to work harder on the winding trails, and it's showing. Topi Gergen are closing the gap steadily, currently 6th on the tracks. Heineck demonstrating his maturity as a stage racer. The gap is 30 seconds and closing. Kleinans and Langvat determined to build on the lead they earned yesterday. (2012) winners Esther Sus and Sally Bigham just as determined to stop them. Once again leading the stage in his Rainbow Stripe World Championship jersey, Nino Schurter of Switzerland with his partner Philip Bass, the South African and African cross-country champion, proving he's more than up to the task of partnering with the best mountain biker on the planet. Matthijs Bierkes partnered up with Bass last year and provided viewers with a thrilling grand finale in Lawrenceford. He and Haynes lead the Absa African jersey category. Nino Schurter goes full gas. Then gives Bass a chance to close and ride ahead to set the pace. Scott Odlow's support team Bierkes and Haynes have dropped off the pace due to a leaky tyre. Status quo in the chase group. Paulison on the front with Topi Gergen on point. Credit goes to Mirandal Songo Specialized Rabon, who's still hanging in despite having a bad day. After South Hill winds, the RSA Web hotspot. Schurter and Bass punch up the steep climb to take the R15,000 cash prize. Topi Gergen are off the lead by 2 minutes, but no threat to the overall GC. They'll let Scott Odlow go. On another blinder of a day, Nino Schurter and Philip Bass. Born in Tersenau, Switzerland, the 27-year-old Schurter is the world champion, as is evident from the rainbow stripes on his jersey. last season Olympic bronze and silver medalist in 2008 and 2012. 25-year-old Philip Buys from Pretoria took his matric exams at Afrikaans Hoërskool and studied mechanical engineering before turning professional in 2009. Ariane Kleinans is Swiss marathon champion, but after marrying Eric Kleinans, she's been adopted as a local by South African mountain bike fans. Sally Bigham is no stranger to a mountain bike. She holds 2 epic titles and is a multiple British marathon champion. Esther Sous's credentials are unmatched at the race, with multiple Marathon World Championships, a podium spot at the 2013 Cross Country World Championships, and an Absa Cape Epic title. Scott Odlow's lead is growing all the time. Another stage win looks likely for the South African-Swiss pair. Scott Factory Racing are in the crosshairs of the chasers Topado, Topi Gergen, Bulls 2 and Mirandal Songo Specialized. Schurter and Buys coursing along, punching their way through the corners on this fast, open, winding single track. Lebanon Forest. Paulison dart through, closely marked by the 2 Topi Gergen riders, then Chiarini and the Bulls 2. Mirandal Songo Specialized are gapped again. They chase hard. Abra Azevedo and mountain bike legend Bart Brenchens looking good for a stage win in the Masters category. Zorweg and McLean dominant in purple in the Grandmasters. Team RCM smooth in the single tracks. Mirandal are losing more time to Ariane Kleinans and Anneke Langvat today. Ahead, Scott Odlow, their lead growing at every time check. The chase group approaches Tandi Farm, site of a water point in previous Absa Cape Epics. Christoph Sauser looking after his new partner for the 2014 race, František Rabon. The chase group watch each other closely. With Schurter and Buys gaining ground up ahead. A young marathon star on the rise, Simon Stiepjan of Bulls 2 rides with the experienced campaigner Tim Burma. Robert Menon and Christian Heineck ride with Topado and hold the gap on an ailing Mirandal Songo Specialized. Into the purpose-built bike park at Paul Kluwer. Multiple World Trials champion Kenny Belay shows off his skills. Schurter leads Buys through the groomed trails, delighting the spectators with their virtuosity. Over 5 minutes later, Heineck leads Menon. Relieved to have neutralized their earlier deficit after a flat, now on the front foot, they're putting Bulls 2 and Topado and Mirandal Songo Specialized under pressure. Water point 3 at Paul Kluwer winds. Scott Odlow tear along the farm roads into the final phase of the stage. Schurter is searching for the best line on the gravel road with the most traction and least rolling resistance. Topi Gergen have sensed weakness in the Mirandal Songo Specialized camp and are capitalizing with no mercy. Sauser lets Rabon ride his own pace, no pressure. By now, Scott Odlo's base and Schurter can hear the finish line. The announcer has been receiving regular updates from the helicopter and will be revving up the crowds. Mirandal Songo Specialized have shut down the Bulls' 2 Topik and Tupada's attack. But the gap has grown to almost 6 minutes to Scott Odlo. Menon, Stibjan, Vermeer, Rabon, Sauser, Heineck, Thierini, Poulsen. Arjan Kleinans on the winding trails leads Danish partner Annika Langford, cementing their overall dominance. There's no stopping a rampant Schurter and base. They'll be thinking back to earlier in the week, wishing they'd had legs and luck like this. Every time these two cross-country specialists hit the single track, they gain more time on the chasers, punching their way through the corners and up the steep climbs. Topi Gergen have attacked. It's Czech versus Czech, with Heineck putting major pressure on countryman and rival František Rabon. As they head home to Oak Valley, all the riders will be reflecting on the fantastic single-track country of South Hill and Tandy, Lebanon and Paul Kluwer. This was a truly rewarding day. And it's 2 stage wins of the 2014 Absa Cape Epic for the world champion and the South African champion, Schurter and base. Topik's last-minute attack has gained them second and some valuable time over Mirandal Songo Specialized. A remarkable recovery on the course from František Rabon, and the Czech-Swiss pair get some podium time yet again. Base and Schurter on top, with GC rivals Topi Gergen and Mirandal Songo Specialized. An admirable defence of their leaders' jerseys today. Heineck and Menon are well set for the final day. Azevedo and Brenchens hurtle homewards with the Masters jerseys all but sewn up. No one, though, speaks too soon in mountain biking. The Grandmaster leaders approach Oak Valley, Andrew McLean having met his match with partner Heinz Zurweg. Stars of the week, Ricium focusing on the task at hand, but no doubt there will be smiles soon. Mixed leaders, the Mauritian team Synergy, have led since day 2, the green jerseys firmly on their shoulders. As delighted as they were with their first, Langford and Kleinans win yet another stage. After a disastrous stage 1 with punctures, they've turned it around and hold a commanding lead in the women's race. The biggest prize in the sport is 1 stage away. Obvious elation, beaming smiles all round.
Front didn't have the very best day today. Those shorter stages and always like pushing pressure on the pedal. There's no much freewheeling and a bit stop and go. And it's also so important to be in front going into the trails, otherwise you lose again and you have to catch up. So that's where we struggled. But then towards the end it got much better, and we saved at least the podium.
Yeah, it was a beautiful stage. It was again proper mountain biking here. That's what we are used as cross-country riders, and we have a perfect setup of our bikes. We have a really fast bike on single trails, and we are happy to ride stages like this, and we enjoyed it a lot.
In the start, I was really afraid. When you start like a little bit behind, and there are all the starters in front. You have to find your way through all the starters, and sometimes it's hard, and we wanted to be in a good position in the first single trail, and it kept us quite a lot, or we had to start really with high intensity to get back soon to the group. So we are happy that we now could also gain some time in the end and that we were so good in the end.
Shooter and Base have clearly found their form. A second stage win in 3 days for the Scott Odlo riders. Menon and Heineck were just under 6 minutes back, but half a minute ahead of Mirandal Songo Specialised. Topi Gergen will take a 10-minute and 23-second lead into the final stage. Saza and Rabon have a last chance to hunt them down. The race for third is tight. 4 minutes separate Bulls 2 and Tapata Racing. RCM2 won their 5th stage of the race with another impressive ride by Annika Langvaart and Ariane Kleinans. Esther Sus and Sally Bigham fought hard throughout the stage, finishing 10 minutes adrift but 15 minutes ahead of Stenahach and Ralph. The race for the Sasol Women's Prize Money looks headed the way of RCM, who lead by over 25 minutes. Yolande de Villiers and Ishans top fourth of Team Sasol Racing on track for a trip to Mauritius, courtesy of the Western Group as the best placed South African women's team. Yannick Lincoln and Aurelie Halbachs were the quickest of the mixed teams. Astra Cycling produced their best result of the week. Brenchens and Azevedo had 5 minutes in the Masters, and Cyclelab Toyota made it 7 wins in a row. Team Synergy are clear leaders in the mixed. Azran just 1 minute and 16 seconds clear of the 4th place team. Abra Azevedo appears to be headed for a second consecutive Masters title with new partner Bart Brenchens. McLean and Zorweg will start the final stage in the purple Grand Masters jerseys again. Polar is a Finnish manufacturer of sports training monitors. They'll assist riders in the collation and analysis of the considerable data accumulated over hundreds of kilometres at the Absa Cape Epic. It's a traditional final day, shorter and with a late start, but that's where the goodwill ends. The climb up Nuverberg on a forest road is steep. Its washed out descent treacherous. Once over the historic Hunter Pass and the Hottentots Holland Mountains, they'll enjoy views of False Bay and in the distance Cape Town, where their journey began a week ago. A steep single track climb will lead them into the Helderberg Bowl and an emotional reunion with friends and family at Lawrenceford.